Hello, welcome to the Gabriel Dolak Show. Today I will be predicting the entire 2025 NFL Draft. Notably, today I will be predicting the first 10 picks of the NFL Draft. There's a chance I don't get every pick right. That's fine. These are the picks that they're supposed to pick. Because as we know, teams make dumb decisions all the time, more teams so than others. Cherry. Sorry. Um, Basically, I use factors that make me, it's like an algorithm, the way to choose the best player possible based on position need, trends they've done in the past, players available. Because, like, even if you don't need the position, if it's a player like they won the Heisman last year, you're going to draft them, even if you don't need them necessarily. Like, if you have an okay quarterback and Cam Ward is available, you're going to draft Cam Ward. All right. This is basically the best player to draft for each pick. Pick 1. The Tennessee Titans have the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are quarterback, edge rusher, wide receiver, linebacker, and safety. If I'm being totally honest with you, I don't think they should go with Travis Hunter with this pick because they don't really need a wide receiver as much as they need a quarterback. And Travis Hunter just doesn't fit their needs. Like, he's a corner and a wide receiver, and they should draft Abdul Carter before they draft Travis Hunter. But they picked Will Levis, so I get why some people would say that he's getting drafted before Cam Ward because, well, Will Levis hasn't exactly worked out, and they really didn't give him a chance even because he was a project quarterback from the start. Everybody was like, why are you drafting him? Some people were like, Will Levis shouldn't even get drafted until the second round because, like, he's super young. Because there's many quarterbacks who, like, they only played like 2 seasons and it's iffish. Like, they might develop into a great quarterback and they also might end up being a bust because they weren't ready. I think they go with Cam Ward with this pick. Unless he wasn't available, you should draft Cam Ward. If he wasn't available, they should obviously draft Travis Hunter. But position wise, they would draft Abdul Carter before they draft Travis Hunter because they don't even need a defensive back. Like, it's a safety, but Travis Hunter didn't play safety. He can transition, but I don't think he does not have the instinct to be a safety. He's a defensive back. Safeties are more known, like, they don't give up yardage. Like, you gotta be a zone hawk, essentially. Like, you can't, like, just try to be like man to man like Travis Hunter is. A lot of DBs can't become safeties because safeties are a particular position where, like, you can't blow coverage at all. Yeah. The pick is in. The Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward, quarterback, senior, University of Miami. This isn't exactly what I had in mind, but I'm paraphrasing here. Again, I wrote a script basically just to find out where I am, but I'm not exactly saying word for word because I don't want this video to be an hour long. This is a great pick. They potentially got their future quarterback, which they've been searching for a while because I don't even remember the last time they had a franchise quarterback. He's a spectacular prospect. He's a great gunslinger who has speed but stays in the pocket naturally, which is one major thing I like in his quarterback play. He can go outside of the pocket anytime he wants. He's pretty fast. He's a mobile quarterback, but he doesn't. He waits in the pocket and is very patient, which you've seen as, like, oh, he just screws around. I'm like, no, he's surveying the field to see what the best option is. And if you have good protection, why not use it? And it's no man's land outside of a pocket. Do you know how many quarterbacks have gotten injured? It's just risky. You can get sacked, injured, all sorts of things because your offensive line isn't there to protect you. Essentially, this is such a great pick. People will say, oh, I don't think he should get drafted first overall. He's getting drafted first overall. I know more than you. I'm smarter than you, obviously. I've been at this a long time. I know what I'm doing. I'm a pro. Pick 2. The Cleveland Browns have the second overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs their quarterback, offensive lineman, edge, running back, and safety. I think they go with Travis Hunter. It's a no-brainer. It addresses an issue that they have. They need a wide receiver and they need a defensive back because their depth is not that great. And they need a wide receiver because Jerry Jeudy's not a wide receiver one, and Amari Cooper isn't what he used to be. They need a wide receiver, essentially. Like, part of the reason Deshaun Watson is struggling is because he doesn't have enough great wide receivers and because he sucks. He just sucks. He was an average quarterback. The pick is now in. The Cleveland Browns select with the second overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Travis Hunter, defensive back and wide receiver, junior from the University of Colorado. This is a great pick, especially if Travis Hunter is able to play both positions in the NFL. He can play both sides of the field. Not many players can do that. In fact, no player really does that. I mean, a corner will maybe play the position of kick returner, but not offense and defense. Let's go over his strengths. He has catch radius and vertical leap to dominate on jump balls, which is a great trait for a receiver, so they have a great advantage. Separation is always key. You need to be able to create separation when contesting for the ball against corners. He gets in and out of breaks with consistent tempo. He works back to throws and scrambles open when needed. He earns top catch position and wins with focus and catch strength. When needed, he earns top catch position and wins with focus and catch strength. He has speed to make house calls when he's in the open field. He's fast but changes tempo when he needs to as a receiver. He has legendary ball skills, and he's especially good on 50-50 balls he's great when it's 50-50 balls because he runs up and gets it. He likes contesting deep balls, and he's especially good at it. He's just a great ball tracker. Like, he knows where it's going. It kind of helps to play both wide receiver and corner, so he has natural instinct on both sides. He's great route running. I think he's a good wide receiver. It just, to me, I don't think he deserved to win the Heisman. That's me personally. I don't think he had the stats as a wide receiver because last wide receiver to win the Heisman before him, he had like 2,200 yards receiving. Now I get he plays both sides, but both sides were like, it was like okay numbers, like didn't blow me away. But he's a good player. It's just that he's going to develop in the NFL, but there's a chance that he might not. But it's very likely. Let's just see what he does before we call him the greatest. It just, Ashton Jeanty was a way better player. But they don't draft running backs this low. And they don't need a running back. The New York Giants have the third overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs their quarterback, offensive lineman, linebacker, corner, and defensive linemen. They are not. I think they go with a defense player with this pick because they need it. Like, they need a lot of help, especially on their defensive line. I think they either go with Abdul Carter or Mason Graham, who are, in my opinion, two of the best defensive linemen in the draft. They wreak havoc on offensive linemen and quarterbacks. And the Giants need that. They need to add some help to the defensive line. Dexter Lawrence can't carry you every single game. They ranked 27th against the run, allowing 144 yards per game, meaning if you had your running back in fantasy, you would start them against the Giants because they sucked. 27th, you're terrible. The pick is now in. The New York Giants select, with the third pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Abdul Carter, edge rusher, junior from Penn State University. This is a great pick with a lot of upside. You are drafting an absolute beast of a player. He has drawn comparisons to Micah Parsons, the way they both line up off the edge. He's this good for a reason. And Penn State, even though I'm an Ohio State fan, I can't help but admit they are producing great defensive players. So far. They both were number 11. Let's go over his strengths. He strikes first to gain early advantage at point of attack. He's too sudden to be stopped from B-gap penetration. He slips and parries blocks with footwork and hand swipes. He has no false steps or wasted motion in his rush get-off. He has an instinctive feel for pass and tackles edge with dip or hard work, and he has a bit agility for tight cornering and sharp change of direction. He's a beast. Like, he can change direction like that. I've seen him play. He's an absolute monster. He's the main reason why Penn State's defense has been so good the last few years. Him. He's one of the key proponents of their defense, and they're going to suffer without him. He is a nightmare for quarterbacks, essentially. You're not ranked this high unless you're a great defensive player. Excuse me for a second. Sorry. I was thirsty. The New England Patriots have the 4th overall pick. Just a second. In the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are offensive linemen, defensive linemen, wide receiver, running back, and tight end. I honestly think they go with an offensive lineman with this pick because it's their number one position need. They need to protect the quarterback. They need to protect their franchise guy. Geez, that was fast. The pick is now in. I'm sorry, they just need an offensive lineman. It's their biggest need, and they don't have a good offensive line. It's their number one position need. The pick is now in. The New England Patriots select with the 4th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Will Campbell, offensive tackle, junior from LSU. This is an amazing pick which helps rebuild an offensive line that really needs it. They need to protect their young prodigy. They need to make sure he develops, and offensive line is needed. Let's go over his strengths. He's been tested by NFL caliber pass rushers due to being in the SEC. He possesses necessary agility to scramble when needed. He evades first contact as run blocker with very heavy hands, and he has strong grip, which aids, sustains, and can put an end to the battle between edge rusher and offensive lineman. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the 5th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are defensive lineman, cornerback, safety, offensive lineman, and wide receiver. I think they go with a defensive player with this pick. They need to do this because 4 out of their top 5 position needs are on the defensive side of the ball, which, if you know math, it means you draft defense. You don't skip on defense, especially in this draft class. I mean, it's loaded. There's going to be a lot of defensive players who go off the board in the first round, especially. They are literally the worst defense in the NFL. They need it. They need playmakers on defense, and they don't have them right now. I mean, they had to rebuild around Trevor Lawrence, but now it's time for you to add to your defense because you're not going to get anywhere paying $55 million for a quarterback who isn't really that well proven anyway. But especially if your defense is terrible. I mean, 32nd in pass defense? That's terrible, man. Who are you having out there covering people? The pick is in. The Jacksonville Jaguars select with the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Mason Graham, defensive lineman, junior from Michigan University. This is a great pick, and I should know. They're in the Big Ten, and Mason Graham's a beast. Like, he destroys offensive lines, and honestly, he is a big part of why the Michigan defense won a championship. They won a championship, which was seen last year, shutting down top offenses. I mean, they even shut down Ohio State, and they won the national championship. This is a hard admitting as an Ohio State fan, but game is game. I see greatness in him. If he can do that well against such elite offensive linemen, and he's played against some of the best programs in football, he's ready for the draft. And he's quite a great addition to Jacksonville. They needed a defensive lineman. Now let's go over his strengths. He plays with a non-stop motor and easy movement. He gets into blockers before they can get into their action. He has compact power with instant punch and ability to extend at the point. He has lateral quickness to eliminate reach blocks and penetrate the gap. And he has range and hustle, which feed his tackle production. Basically, he's an elite defensive lineman. He does all the aspects of his position at a very elite level, at the top level. The Las Vegas Raiders have the 6th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are running back, wide receiver, corner, offensive lineman, and linebacker. This pick has a lot of potential for the Raiders since they need a lot of offensive help, especially after losing Davante Adams. I think they go with a running back because you got a chance to draft Ashton Jeanty, and you need a running back. You need a running game. They don't go with offensive linemen because, well, to me, it's not as big of a deal as their running back. They need a running back. Their offensive lineman's okay. They need some help, but you can pick up great offensive linemen in the 2nd, even 3rd round. Happens all the time. Basically, the best offensive lineman after the previous one isn't projected until much later. And it, to me, isn't worth taking as a top 10 pick. As in, you can get him much later. Don't overreach. The pick is in. The Las Vegas Raiders select with the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Ashton Jeanty, running back, junior from Boise State. This is an amazing pick. In fact, they might have won the draft with this pick. Ashton Jeanty, if he continues on this path, will have a Hall of Fame career. I mean, he had a bum offensive line and he almost broke Barry Sanders' record. He was like I think, 100 yards away. And that record was seen as unbeatable, and he's got the closest. And he's alike to Barry Sanders. He always scrambles for more yards. They have the same build because they're both around 5'9", and just they're alike. Certain running backs are alike. Their running back archetypes alike. They're both elusive backs. Like, they're very quick. Yeah, their builds are the same. Let's go over his strengths. He runs low to the ground with a wide base. He has fast feet and good vision. He trusts play design and won't come off the track without reason. He picks up momentum and danger with every step he takes. And his instant burst limits time for defenders to read and react. And he had runs of 50-plus yards in 9 of his 14 games in 2024. He's a beast. And I believe if he's developed right in the NFL, he's going to be one of the top backs for many years to come. As long as he doesn't get injured. But he's had no history of injuries, so good job, Raiders. I approve this message. You won the draft if everything goes right. But to be honest, you'll probably find a way to screw it up because that's what the Raiders do. The New York Jets have the 7th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are offensive lineman, wide receiver, tight end, safety, and defensive lineman. They go with a wide receiver with this pick. No doubt in my mind. They need to build up their wide receiver core because Davante Adams is aging. And why wouldn't you? There's so many wide receivers left on the board that are great. This wide receiver class is great, along with many other positions. You just draft a wide receiver. You do it because they need another young wide receiver to complement Garrett Wilson, who's a beast. He just hasn't connected with Aaron, which I don't know why. But luckily, he's getting a new quarterback. But Davante Adams is aging, and you need a wide receiver too for when he's gone. And also, why not draft another elite wide receiver? You want to have the best wide receivers possible because that guarantees you every chance to win. The better players, that's just how it works. You want as much depth as possible. The problem with certain offenses in the NFL is they don't have enough weapons. That's why certain teams, even though they're great, like the Ravens, they don't draft enough weapons for Lamar. That's why they don't win. They've started to, though. But draft as many great wide receivers as you can, because give your quarterback all the help he needs. Because some of these offenses have loaded amounts of wide receivers. It's a passing game. So, draft a great passing offense. Rushing offense too, but and typically you have to outpass teams nowadays because it's become a majority passing offense. There's very few teams that are balanced. The pick is in. The New York Jets select with the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Tatoria McMillan, wide receiver junior from Arizona State. This is a great pick and is a steal, taking this great prospect with this pick. He's top 4 on the PFF for a reason. He's a great pick. He's a great wide receiver. Second best prospect, and some might say even the best. Some people have him as the number 1 wide receiver in this entire draft. And he's alike to Megatron because he's 6'4", 219 pounds, making him an absolute beast on the field. That's a tall wide receiver. He showcases a lot of abilities that Megatron did possess. Let's go over his strengths. He is highly productive in all receiving columns over 2 years. His 2023 tape is filled with highlight reel touchdowns. He's a clever hand fighter to uncover at the top of the route. He adjusts route to coverage and scrambles for his quarterback when needed, and he feels coverage in space and adjusts routes accordingly. He has great route running, great speed for his size, and great height, making him a perfect deep ball threat. He's going to do some good things this year. Just that some gurus think that he's not going to go until a little bit later. Probably because he goes to Arizona. That doesn't matter. If you're smart, you draft him. The Carolina Panthers have the 8th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are edge rusher, safety, cornerback, wide receiver, and defensive lineman. I think they go with defense with this pick, especially on the line, since they really need it. They were ranked as the worst defense in the NFL, and PFF ranked their defense at 54.6 with only 4 players with grades above 60, which for reference, most elite defensive players are in the 80s and 90s. It's like a grade for the year based on your performance. Their defense is atrocious, is what I'm saying. If you're a GM for their team, draft defense, especially on the line, because that is one of the most important positions on defense because it stops the run against the quarterback. You don't want to be the defensive laughingstock of the league, which is what the Panthers are. They're a joke of a defense. If I see one of my fantasy players go against the Carolina Panthers in fantasy, I start that wide receiver because they're going to go off anyway because their defense couldn't stop me, let alone an elite or a wide receiver that went to college. The pick is in. The Carolina Panthers select Jalen Walker, edge rusher and linebacker, junior from the University of Georgia. They've selected an absolute beast on the line. He can play both edge rusher and linebacker. He's a little bit undersized for an edge rusher, but he's 6'1", 245 pounds, which is around the size of a linebacker. Not quite in stature, but there are smaller linebackers. What he lacks in height, he surely makes up for in speed. Let's go over his strengths. He's a hybrid talent who takes snaps as an off-ball linebacker and on the edge. He drifts downhill to meet blocks and constricts the run lane. He has good length to stack blocks or punch and pass on the move. And he's twitched up with an elite close and burst of the football. His rush attack is highly athletic and very natural, and he varies step, cadence, and entry angles. Essentially, he's a great edge rusher who knows his fundamentals. That's the problem with a lot of stars who are defensive players. They have a lot of speed, but they don't learn their fundamentals, which is why they don't pan out in the NFL. But he put time in his game and worked on his footwork because you got to work on your footwork. Everybody has sloppy footwork to begin with. You got to work at it. And then eventually, people are like, it doesn't matter. All that matters is getting in the court. No, if you have terrible footwork, offensive lineman, you won't be able to get by. It doesn't matter your speed. Because footwork means finding a way to the quarterback using technique. Because technique will beat speed and strength any day. Because the offensive linemen are also strong. They weigh a lot more than you probably. I mean, offensive linemen are what? Like 300 plus? Defensive linemen are... Linebackers and edge rushers are what? 280 max? Yeah, you need technique to beat them. All right, the New Orleans Saints have the 9th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are cornerback, offensive lineman, wide receiver, defensive lineman, and quarterback. I think they should go with a defensive player with this pick, preferably a DB since it's their top position need. Their secondary needs to improve. It's not that great. They need to upgrade it and make more additions to it, but that's why they have this pick. They don't draft Shedeur with this pick. Any analyst who says this is an idiot. Shedeur Sanders is unproven and is not worth being a top 10 pick. You draft a corner because you need a corner. You don't need a quarterback that bad. You have Derek Carr. Even though he's coming off injury, you can draft a good quarterback next year or in the second round. It is extremely worth drafting a corner, especially in this draft class, which is loaded with elite DB after elite DB. It'll be a while until you don't have top prospects because there's just so many. And even if they're ranked below, they're still great corners. Just it's loaded, so they can't rank them the top because there's just so many. All right, the pick is in. The New Orleans Saints select Jahdae Barron, defensive back, senior from the University of Texas. This is a great pick, and it addresses their biggest need, in my opinion. He's a top 7 PFF big board player, meaning he's one of the best prospects in the country. According to combine numbers, his performances throughout the season. In fact, the past 4 years, he's got great length and size, standing at 5'11", 194 pounds, which is the typical size for a corner. And he is much faster than the DBs who are a little bit taller than him. The ones who are like 6'2", 6'3", almost like they're safeties. They're a lot slower than him because he's 5'11", so he's weighs less, so he's not as bulky. He's more skinny. He can run a lot faster, which was shown at his combine numbers, which, if I'm not mistaken, he ran a 4.39, which is really fast still. He's a versatile DB, meaning he's a great mix of size and length. Let's go over his strengths. He has above average size and strength as a big nickel quarter. He's able to forcefully redirect routes over the first 5 yards. He has great awareness and instincts to make timely responses from zone, and he ran receivers' routes for them like he knew the play in 2024. Essentially, he's able to read plays, and he has great football IQ, because only a corner with great football IQ can do stuff like that. He's fast, he has great strength, and he's smart. He knows plays, he scans the field, which makes him a really dangerous corner to play against. The corners who have great football IQ end up being the best in the game. It doesn't matter the speed. Now, speed helps, but if you know what exactly is going to happen and you can time their responses, you're going to get a lot of picks. Essentially, he's a great player. I saw him play a few times. He's a great player. He has great awareness, which you want in a corner. And he went to University of Texas, so great program. Produces a lot of great defensive players. All right, the Chicago Bears have the 10th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. They are now on the clock. Their team needs are offensive lineman, edge rusher, running back, safety, and tight end. I think they go with Tyler Warren with this pick since they need a great tight end who can be an offensive threat as well as block on runs and passes. Essentially, they want George Kittle. George Kittle is a type of tight end who's really good at blocking. He's like a traditional tight end. He's not more like a Gronk. He can pass catch like all the great pass catching tight ends like Travis Kelce and Gronkowski, but he also can block on runs and even passes, which you want in a tight end. You want a tight end who's good at blocking. The pick is now in. The Chicago Bears select with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Tyler Warren, tight end, senior from the University of Penn State. This is a great pick where they add another weapon to help their young quarterback, Caleb Williams, who is going into his sophomore year, who needs more weapons to succeed. He's the 8th ranked PFF player, and it shows because he was an absolute monster at Penn State. He made Drew Aller look good. I mean, to me, I saw Drew Aller play. He struggles when he faces big teams. But Tyler Warren definitely helped. Without Tyler Warren, honestly, Drew Aller might not be at Penn State right now because, let's face it, he's not that great of a quarterback. He's an average, mediocre quarterback, and Tyler Warren's made him be considered even at the beginning of the year to be picked at all, like second or third round pick. He has lit up Ohio State time and time again, right down the middle. He's a type of tight end where you do not want him to catch it because it's not telling how many yards he'll gain after that. 10, 15, 20, running in the end zone, scoring. That's why he gets double covered a lot, but that doesn't matter because he's got a great build. He's big, athletic. Yeah, he's a great tight end. Let's go over his strengths. He handled short yardage runs with direct snaps and wildcat looks. He has impressive early quickness and speed variance in his routes. His hips are smooth getting in and out of his break points, and he doesn't need much workspace to make it the catch. My point is, he doesn't need too much separation. He's still going to catch it. He is a very reliable wide receiver, and any team who picks him will have a great tight end for the future. All right. See you in part 2.